Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing some Standard 2022 with a deck that we played on stream the night before. I'm not going to be showing any of the stream highlights. You could actually go to the link down in the description below for my Twitch page. You will be able to get the VODs there as well if you want to check out some of the games. We had some really awesome stuff going on though, but yeah, this deck was certainly the highlight of the night because we spent a lot of time losing. This was the one deck that we spent little time losing with, so that was wonderful. We're going to be playing some blue-black control with a deck I like to call Mr. Steal Yo Stuff. It's a Xanathar control deck, and I will state this right now. I've been playing this deck for a while, and I think Xanathar is just not a good win condition. I do absolutely adore this card. 6 mana 5/6 at the beginning of your upkeep. Choose target opponent, and until the end of the turn, that player can't cast spells. You may look at the top card of their library at any time, and you may play the top card of their library. You may spend mana as though it was mana of any colour to cast spells this way. So basically, you get to influence the top card of your opponent's library so that they don't draw anything reasonable, and you use their win cons against them. As I said though, this in reality is not really a good win condition. It is a 6 mana do nothing when it comes down, which often means that your opponents have like soul shatters and other nonsense like that to immediately get the value out of it. But it is fun when you can get this down, get it triggering, and you can even reanimate it off of Blood on the Snow as well, which is really super useful. If you were to fully optimize this list, I would recommend some Professor Onyxes in Xanathar's place, as well as maybe a Zarasan or an Imarith. Those are also interesting win conditions that kind of go with this playstyle a little bit more. And yeah, that's essentially kind of the blue splash of the deck. The rest is built around a mono-black shell, similar to the mono-black control deck we played on the channel a while back that was made by CGB. So it's got the usual suspects that you would imagine. Eye Twitch, when it dies you get to learn, so we've got a full learning sideboard here of environmental sciences, bad divination, but it's rare for some reason, necrotic fumes, and 3 mascot exhibitions as a win condition. So the usual suspects there. So that's what iTwitch can go grab. We've got Shambling Ghast, which makes treasures, and -1/-1s, so it can get rid of 2/2s, which is really super useful if they block it or it gets blocked. And treasures otherwise to ramp us into our big stuff like Modern Canaan. I really do love this card. This card's pretty sweet. It's like the Teferi of New Standard, and I'm here for it. It's just Teferi, but less disgusting. Skullport Merchant, makes you a treasure. It has a massive booty, so it's able to block most of your opponent's threats. That's basically what this package helps with. I did try this in a more aggressive blue-black shell in the sense that I used to run counter spells and things like that. I just found that I was getting run over in the early game though, and that's one of the things that this package helps you with, is it gives you a really solid early game. So in conjunction with the creature package, we get loads of removal as well. We've got Flunk, 3 copies of that. It's -X/-X, where X is 7- the cards in your opponent's hand. Be careful when you cast this card to count your opponent's cards before you fire it off. All too many times I have not done the math on this, and it's gone horribly wrong, so be aware of that. Power Word Kill as a one-of. It's the most dies to Doomblade kind of card ever. So it kills essentially everything except for dragons in this case, and sometimes angels. So those two are tribal decks that are seeing a little bit of play. So that's the reason why it's not more than a 1-of. I did have it as a 2-of, and I hated it because I would always draw it in the Is It Dragons matchup, so it went down to 1, ended up adding a Bloodchief's Thirst, which actually allows us to hit Planeswalkers, which is super sweet, and removal in the early game. So our Planeswalker removal, for the record, is Soul Shatter and Blood on the Snow, and yeah, it goes very well. So yeah, that's the deck. I think the gameplay will explain itself. As I said, we have some more content of this over on my Twitch channel. You can go to the link down in the description below and watch the most recent VOD on this list. It was super fun. It was towards the end of the night. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's gameplay as well. If you do, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. And without further ado, let's continue. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, opponent plays first. This hand is fine. It's got a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 play with removal and a aggressive enough hand. Shambling Gas for them. Ooh, Eye Twitch for us. I'll take the Eye Twitch over the Shambling Gas, I think, because then I get to get some experimental sciences and stuff like that. So they're going to be on like the black-white control list, I'm guessing. Vanishing Verse. Okay. Wouldn't exactly make that play myself. Especially because it gained them 1 point of damage. Interesting. So opponents passing up here. So I'm actually just gonna Deadly Dispute and benefit as much as I can from this. I guess if they got a Deadly Dispute, they can respond, but they don't. So I take their creature out. I get my treasures. And I like that exchange. Getting closer to Modern Canaan, we're going to have a Skullpot Merchant to draw some cards. Elite Spellbinder. Couldn't care less, honestly. If I were them, I would take Soul Shatter, because I'm going to assume that Kaya or Liliana is their next play.
I'll be in my tower.
That says to me that it is not. Alright, so let's get in for 1. See if they want to block. They do not. I'm going to play Skullpot Merchant. And I think we're just going to... Well, we don't really need to just... kill Spellbinder. I can still hold up and Soul Shatter. So I'm gonna let them hit me for 3 because they want me to tap out, I think. So I'll take 3 to find out what their follow-up play is. I can save treasures as well by not firing this off immediately. Yep, there's Kaya. So, let's see what they want to do. Strangely chooses to do that. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to sack Shambling Ghast and kill the Spellbinder. They get nothing out the Kaya minus. And then I'll just Soul Shatter Kaya. So they got a 1 for 1. Swing for 1 here. Yeah, we'll sack the treasure, I think. If we don't need to use the flunk. Which, flunk's looking pretty good. It'll be able to kill just about anything our opponent plays. We have no Planeswalker answers anymore. So we're going to need to dig for those. God, another Kaya. Alright, so I'm going to imagine this one just takes out my merchant. Yep. Could flunk my own merchant, I think, but I don't really know if there's much of a point to doing that. That would have been nice earlier. So we're going to go merchant. And I'm torn between holding up and Deadly Dispute plus flunk. Or just playing the Ice Tunnel. I think I'll just hold up and both. It's like if they play a creature here, I'm going to want to kill it. If they have a removal spell like Vanishing Verse, then I'm going to want to interact with that. Destroy all creatures. What do they get out of this? They get a Spellbinder or a Shambling Ghast. Okay, so I'll do this. Draw some cards. Blood on the Snow, fantastic. I'm assuming they get back Spellbinder. Which dies to either of my cards, so I'm going to let them choose. And then the tick up on Kaya doesn't do anything. If this card was like Shambling Ghast, then I'd want to wait. They took Blood on the Snow, interestingly. So I'm just going to go with a Flunk, because I think Power Word Kill isn't going to be shut off by anything our opponent plays, and it's just hard removal. That's kind of fantastic. Alright. Modern Canaan. I only had one blue source at the time, that's a bit spooky.
You're wasting your time if you think.
Let's make an attacker.
Ah, my faithful hound.
It's like they could lose their Kaya to kill Modern Canaan, but I've got one sat in exile ready to go. My one issue is if they have a creature here and tick up on it, then Power Word Kill's gonna be a bit spooky. Just got a Vanishing Verse. I mean, sure. So they can tick up, tick down, whatever they do, Kaya's dead. Doge goes to 4. Smash. Play the land, play the Modern Canaan. And also do Blood on the Snow to get rid of future Kayas as well.
To control, one must first.
Just put the land to the bottom. I'm sure we'll find plenty in our time. Lolth.
You require my aid. I will come.
That would be useful if it weren't for my Blood Chief's Thirst. So, I can double removal to get rid of the tokens, get rid of the Lolth. I could just get rid of the Lolth. Or I could just start attacking the Lolth. I think letting Lolth activate next turn, I think, is just incorrect. I think... Well, these have got Menace, so I'm kind of feeling the need to specifically just kill them.
Do what I demand.
This puts my Doge to 2, Lolth to 3, but then we draw.
Leave me be. I'm reading.
Tunnel to the bottom. Doge kills Spider Queen.
A setback. Nothing more.
And let's play, I think, Faceless Haven. Not playing both, it will kill my token. Guess you could play around Agonizing Remorse, but I don't think that's a card that they run. Modern Canaan could ult now if we wanted it to. Let's get in with Faceless Haven. Hit our opponent for 10, dead next turn. If they don't draw a good card, they have the Snowfield Sinkhole to find that good card. I Twitch I'm going to play, because if they find a sweeper, I get Mascot Exhibition. And I'm just trying to think whether or not I'm going to need this land. I actually think I'm just going to hold them for extra power on Doge. And that gets it covered. Very nice. Wowee. On to the next one. Alright. Opponent goes first. Our hand is fine, so we're going to keep it. Lots of early game pressure and disruption for any creature decks as well. Could do with some like Deadly Disputes and things like that. Less so 6 drops. Faceless Haven, Island, and a Fatale. Could be a lot of things, to be honest. Until I see like red, then now it suddenly looks like dragons. So we draw our dead card if that's the case. Good stuff. Let's play the island, I think. More snow the better. Yeah, if it's dragons, this card is dead. I actually used to have extra power word kills in, but then I just constantly came up against this matchup, so ended up cutting a few. It's a really good removal spell as long as it's not this matchup, and this matchup shows up too much, so... Gonna be discarding with Magma Opus. I'm thinking, is this the time to go for Deadly Dispute, since it has that additional cost? I think this is the time to go for it. I do want to make my land drops, because I've got plenty of 6 drops here, so let's go with Environmental Sciences, I think. Could also go for Teachings. This is less likely to get countered. I've got 4 cards to my 5, so I wouldn't even be able to use Teachings. Got another Deadly Dispute. Well, I'm full on cards right now, so... just gonna pass. Hall of the Storm Giants. I don't actually feel like this is dragons anymore. Interestingly, so there might be hope for this power word kill. Let's go Environmental Sciences. Thin the deck. Get more black. We are base black. Leave power word kill and flunk open. Plus Deadly Dispute. I think that's okay. If they activate their Faceless Haven, I'm going to want to have the answer to that. Looks like they're not going to go that way, though. So let's get in for 1. Play Skullport Merchant. This probably would eat a Saw It Coming if they had it. It's a reasonably powerful card. Guess if they also had Dragon's Fire, then they would maybe go for that as well, but then I can Deadly Dispute and still have my removal open. So not too bad there. Yeah, Power Word Kill also doesn't hit Faceless Havens, which is the most commonly used creature land as well. Since it's all creature types, it basically is all 3 of these things that I can't kill. Alright, so they passed. We're going to keep our threats on board and go for the treasures, I think. Eye Twitch isn't bad. Soul Shatter isn't bad. So let's see if they want to animate with their Faceless Haven. Gotta get them to interact somehow. They have the Dragon's Fire with the Gold Span Dragon Reveal. So, because they're going after the Skullport Merchant, it can't sack itself, so I'm going to use Deadly Dispute. This will get Saw It Coming out of them. Test of Talents. Why am I seeing that card so much? Unreal. Okay, so they get all my Deadly Disputes. Sure, why not? They actually, funnily enough, don't have Goldspan Dragon mana without using their treasure right now, which is wonderful. So, hit them for 1. I'm going to play the Eye Twitch. And then I've got Soul Shatter available. They know it exists, though, because they just looked at my hand with Test of Talents. So I doubt they just run Goldspan into it without counter backup. I'm going to have to go, like, on a big removal war, I think, with them, because I do have Flunk that can get it, but they get treasures, so they get to pay for that, and it's all a lot of annoying things at once. So we're going to go in. Again, we're going to open up that Faceless Haven block if they want it, but I doubt they do. I want to encourage it the best I can. Soul Shatter, Power Word Kill, Flunk. I'm going to leave them all open. My main concern at the moment, I guess, is just all of those Foretell cards being Alrund's Epiphany and they just win. I think at least one of them is a Saw It Coming, though, the way that they've been playing this. But, yeah, I'm assuming that the first one's at least going to go off right now. Just as a redraw, because they do need to pick up the pace. They're on 10. 5-turn clock is a thing. Yep, there it is. So... no comment. Did use a treasure to get that done, which is great for us. Still don't have that double red for Goldspan without using the treasure, which is still great for us. They're just going to pass. Drew a Faceless Haven. So I think I'm suiting up here. And we're swinging. Got that Faceless Haven to get in. So let's try and take it out. They're already starved on mana as it is, so they really can't afford to not fight over this. Just gonna float Faceless Haven so it can't block anyway. So I'll just let that go. Yeah, that's totally fine. They do their blocking shenanigans. Going to 6. We'll make a treasure. We got 4 mana. Just gonna go with Mascot Exhibition, I think. Xanathar's just not great against our opponent's deck right now. Necrotic Fumes. Not really where I want to be. I think I'm just gonna, yeah, stack up threats here. So we still have that Soul Shatter that our opponent has to fight over. They still don't have their double red. If they want to play Goldspan, then they lose. Because they can't protect this, and then I've got 8 in my mana base to defend, or to attack them back. And I'm pretty sure I've got... oh, I don't quite have enough, right? Because... yeah, this is not a Snowland. But I can play Modern Canaan, and that's kind of like... good enough, right? Although... Mascot Exhibition seems good. I'm trying to think... if they had the 4-mana sweeper that cares about dragons... they can get Mascot Exhibition, but they can't get the token. I think I'm going to go with Modern Canaan. Make a Doge. It's a 10-10.
Run, if I were you.
Epiphany. Use some blockers. Could get them back into this game for sure. They've got their double red now. Frostbite's the Modern Canaan. Okay.
I have no more quarrel here.
Is that enough to win? They can suit up Faceless Haven. I can flunk it. What would that last card be? I could also just, like, Mascot Exhibition, swing for 12. So this would be 1, 2, 3, suit up. It would leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's flunk and power word kill. I think I'm going to give this a shot. So we power word kill one of the tokens. Thus presenting lethal unless they go with the Faceless Haven or have removal. I can flunk the Faceless Haven in response. I could also just flunk the token If I just flunked the token, am I okay? I'm probably okay, yeah. I'm kind of getting the impression that they feel defeated. So they've got, yeah, not enough mana to do anything relevant. And we take the game. Yeah, I think this is the same as waiting for Faceless Haven to animate and going for it. Though obviously I get the better target, but I'm going for the win anyway, so if I'm winning, I don't really care what the target is as long as I win. So I guess like there is a slim chance that they animate, but then they have negate and they die to that. Yeah, I don't know what they could have. There's like you see a river that gives hexproof, I guess, as 1 mana. That could be a thing. Doesn't do much for them necessarily, except for buy them a single turn, and then hopefully they're just dead to double Faceless Haven the following turn. But yeah, pretty good. Definitely leveraged the fact that our opponent was lacking red mana for the longest time. Seeing a lot of tested talents recently. I guess it makes some amount of sense with Alrund's Epiphany. But it doesn't hit the ones that are in exile, so it kind of only does half its job. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess if you hit reasonable stuff like, you know, Blood on the Snows, you might be okay with it. But anyway, on to the next game. Alright, opponent goes first. Our hand is completely unplayable. If there was any black mana here, I think I would snap this hand, but yeah. Not the case, so let's hit the Mull Burden. This one's pretty good. We want to get rid of one of our 3 6-drops in our opening hand. It's definitely not Blood on the Snow, so it's between Modern Canaan and Xanathar. Xanathar is better much later in the game when your opponents are just about out of cards. So we're going to go that way. Uh-oh. Usher of the Fallen. Alright. I see your Usher and I raise you an Eye Witch, also known as an Eye Twitch. But it depends on what platform you're on at the time. So we can play the Ice Tunnel next turn if we don't draw a 2-drop. Otherwise, we've got the ability to hold up and like Deadly Disputes, Flunks, Power Word Kills, so on and so forth. See if they've got like a portable hole here. Got a Clarion Spirit. I would love an answer to that. Didn't find one. Okay, so now it's just a case of surviving until we get to Blood on the Snow. Eye Twitch can... I mean, at this point with 3 lands, probably not get us Environmental Sciences like it usually does. Well, the Clarion Spirit and Paladin class, so a really solid start for them. And swings for 2. Power Word Kill. Alright, it is at least an interaction spell. I don't know if there's really a better target for Power Word Kill than Clarion Spirit right now. I guess the Aspirant's a thing. Problem that we have is they're just going to pay for Paladin class and pump the team, I guess. I'm going to get outraced by that, most likely. If I'm not careful. Yeah, I think I'll just reduce the odds of getting randomly teched out by something I'm not thinking of that would trigger Clarion Spirits. We'll just do it now. Spellbinder. Alright, that will lose me the game. Unless I draw another Blood on the Snow. So I'm taking 2, 4, 6. Because now the Eye Twitch is responsible for keeping the Spellbinder back. Okay, Soul Shatter. Got Faceless Haven in play now as well. Soul Shatter hits the Spellbinder. Paladin class makes my blocks terrible. They've got to realize that that's what that card does. They do. Alright. I think I'm just blocking to prevent damage now. So, Soul Shatter. Get rid of Spellbinder. Block the biggest thing on the board. Go to 5. Get Environmental Sciences, but it's probably not good enough. Gains me 2 life. That's the only reason why I picked it. Could spell Cleric, and... Yep, rip. Just dead in every conceivable way, I believe. We go up to 7, we can't block. Yeah, we're dead. Rip. Too aggressive. Alrighty, on the play. This hand is great. I feel like I haven't said that recently, so it's nice to be able to say it now. Turn 1 Shambling Ghast on the play allows us to attack in and Deadly Dispute whenever we feel like it, drawing some cards and ramping us up to our big boys. Got decent enough mana, so should be in a nice little spot. I'm honestly going to take this right now, while they can't saw it coming. Yeah, because there's a good chance we get to just follow up with some more nonsense as well. Let's go with the Eye Twitch for now. I want to still hold up and Deadly Dispute. I think if I played Skullport Merchant, it just dies for no value. Whereas I can follow up with it later and then start sacking treasures rather than sacking all my treasures just to get one little bit of incremental value. Let's get in for 1. Play Shambling Ghast. And pass with Deadly Dispute open. One's got a Behold the Multiverse. So again, I think this is one of those situations where I will just take my Deadly Dispute. I want to make land drops, honestly. So I think I'm just going to go with the Eye Twitch. We're going to be drawing 2 cards up to 5, up to 6 on our next draw, so unlikely to have less cards than our opponent, I think. So Teachings isn't really where I want to be. I think I'm just going to go for Environmental Sciences, honestly. It's hard to say because we're drawing 2 cards here, so we're probably going to draw a land as well. So Mascot Exhibition could be the play. Necrotic Fumes does hit Planeswalkers. Maybe that's the line we take. Hit a Lolth or Professor Onyx. Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a safety valve kind of move, and I'm here for it. Got a Faceless Haven, nice. So 1 top, 1 bottom. We do, as a panic button, have a Soul Shatter, but I can't really see a reason to need to use it when our opponent has 4 mana. 5 mana and we're talking Imariths and Lolths and things like that, but yeah, not on 4. 4's a nice number. And even discards the hand size. That Behold the Multiverse had a discard rule attached to it, which is nice. So we're just going to swing for 1. Okay, we'll take my Skullport Merchant here, who can sack the Shambling Ghast to draw, or maybe even just eat away at our treasures. Totally fine with that as well. We've already played our land drop for the turn, so no concerns there. One at Soul Shatters. I will eat a treasure. Pretty good use of Soul Shatter for us. Means we're not going to lose bigger and better things. Though Skullport Merchant is kind of like up there on best creatures and best threats in our deck, honestly. It's a silent killer. The amount of cards it draws you. It's usually always the one you want to get back with Blood on the Snow if you don't have Planeswalkers. So opponent foretells and passes. Could get in with a Faceless Haven. Gets around Soul Shatter because Shambling Ghast is 1 mana and it's 0. Also just dies to a lot of stuff though. Right now I've got 6 cards in hand, so there's a -1/-1 on Flunk. Power Word Kill doesn't get me, so I'm gonna give it a shot, I think. Considering this lets me still hold up and Soul Shatter. Do I just place Shambling Ghast here? I'd have to use a treasure for Soul Shatter. I think I'm likely to be using Soul Shatter, honestly. So we'll save our treasures for fuel later down the line. Yeah, this is where they can go like Professor Onyx, draw a card, and I kill it. Maybe they want to wait on that until they can hold up and saw it coming, so 2 turns from now. Nighthawk Scavenger. That's a card. Death Touch and Lifelink. Well, I could try Necrotic Fumes it. But at what cost, you say? A great cost. Yeah, I suppose. So kill, try to sack. It's probably going to fail, but if it gets a counter spell out of our opponent, I think I'm okay with that. They unsummon it. You are running unsummon in your deck. That is wild. Alright. Yeah, priority's been held there. I'm pretty sure that's the sight coming. We do have double Xanathar and Blood on the Snow to reanimate Xanathar, I'm pretty sure. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've got all the snow mana we need for the reanimation there. There's the Nighthawk Scavenger. I might just make them fight over this. Oh my. So many threats. Alright, hit you for 1. Play Xanathar. Couldn't care less if that's the sort coming anymore. If they play a Walker, it's dead, I get back Xanathar. Otherwise I just play Xanathar again. And try to run them out of resources, I think. So I have a proactive and a reactive play now. And an aggressive one with Faceless Havens as well. I don't know if that's really correct. I was gonna do it, but then it just felt bad. I'll wait until this Xanathar either dies or gets countered. Looks like dying is maybe what's going to happen to it. I'd have to be empty-handed for Flunk to kill it. Bloodchief's Thirst. Alright. So it resolves so quickly that I don't think that Blood on the Snow is really going to... Zarath-san! Wow, okay. That's a thing. It's totally fine, though, because my plan was always to do this. I guess I can get in for 1 first. Yep. Make a treasure. Destroy all creatures. Get back Xanathar. Play Modern Canaan. I think we're just actually gonna vomit out our threats here. And draw our cards. Gonna get Deadly Dispute into hand. So Nighthawk Scavenger is a card that we know about that is not going to do it for us. And looks like we were going to prison our opponent out of it there with just too high a density of threats in the end. I did actually have a single Zarath-san in my deck at one point. I figured it was just too easy to interact with, but it was certainly bad when you when we saw it at the other end, so I'm kind of feeling justified about that. Yeah, pretty sweet. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. We've got Historic Horizons coming up this week, so very excited about that. Going to be doing a lot of Jumpstart content, maybe even doing it in some of my off days as well, so you get extra content on top of the usual stuff that you are known to receive. And yeah, I've got a sweet Historic deck to play as well, already lined up, ready to go, among many other ideas as well. So hopefully you enjoy the upcoming content. Make sure to subscribe so you get notified when all the videos go live by hitting that bell icon as well. And yeah, have a great day, guys.